guys, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be showing you today how to stop your under eyes from creasing. Have you ever had it where you put on your foundation, your concealer, and then a couple of hours into the day you start to notice there's really horrible lines of liquid foundation and liquid concealer? Today I'm going to show you how to prevent this, how to stop it, and how to make sure you have flawless under eyes all day, all night long. So without further ado, I'm going to let you get on with the video. Don't forget to subscribe to me, guys, so you can see me on a weekly basis. To help that, you could press the little bell, which will also notify you every single time I upload. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. See you in a bit. Bye! The first thing you need to do to prepare your eye area is to apply a primer. So I'm going to go in with the Benefit Professional. The reason why you need to apply a primer is it stops any product from moving. So it's the same sort of thing when you apply a foundation, you apply a primer, or when you apply your eyeshadow, you use a primer to stop any product from moving. So using a very small amount of the primer, just lightly dab underneath the eye and make sure you work it right up to that lash line. The next step is to go in and apply your foundation. So for today, I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match Golden Cappuccino. When you apply your foundation, avoid your whole eye area. The reason for this is you don't want to have all of the foundation underneath, the primer, the concealer, because that is when the creasing is going to be at its ultimate. The next step is to apply your creamy concealer. So I found it really useful to use a concealer that dries matte, because if it dries too sheeny or oily, you're obviously going to be drawing attention to your eyes, and that's what you want to try and avoid. So I've got a few here that I do use on a regular basis. A cheaper option would be, say for example, the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This retails for about £5. One of my go-to concealers at the moment is the MAC Creamy Concealer. This is in NW30. I actually really think this is an amazing formula. It contains the pigments to allow you to be able to color correct at the same time. For a little bit of, say, highlight and to really give your eyes some life, I sometimes go in with the Touche Eclat Yves Saint Laurent, I can't say it properly, in the highlighter. This is number 3, and I sometimes put this on and mix it in with the MAC, so it gives me just life in my eyes. I'm not going to be colour correcting today, but one of the things you can do is, if you have really dark circles like I do, you can apply an orange concealer first, blend it in, and then go in and put your concealer on. Make sure you don't apply the concealer directly underneath the eye, because it'll make it look heavy and dull. The best thing to do is to apply your concealer just underneath where your, my lines start, bringing it round and completely up to your side of your face, and then down in a triangle shaped motion. The reason for this is you want to try and make your eyes look long, awake and bright. If you just focus it in this area here, you're going to end up making your eyes just look really plump. So this is much better to help you give your eyes more life, brightness, and it's just the best technique that I find works. Like I mentioned before, I do sometimes go with like an extra highlighter, and I just dab a couple of splodges into the highlighter, so when it all mixes together, it allows for some more highlighting and making me look like I actually am awake when I'm normally more or less asleep. So now for the blending. I am literally obsessed with the Beauty Blender. You can use anything, guys. You can use sponges, you can use drugstore sponges. You don't have to go out and spend loads of money on beauty blenders and Real Technique blenders. Anything that's spongy, squishy, but make sure it's damp. You do not want to do this process with a dry beauty blender, because it will take in all the product and it won't allow you to evenly distribute it, and it just doesn't work. With the concealer, make sure that you use a colour 2 or 3 shades lighter than your actual skin tone. You do not want to go in with a concealer that's the same colour as your skin, because you're not going to be concealing, you're going to be applying basically skin tone to concealer tone, and it just won't have the same effect. So start by blending the concealer outwards and upwards, and then with the rest of the product, start to push that near to your waterline. Dab, dab, dab. Do not sweep, do not massage in like it's face cream. You can sometimes put some on top of your lid if you want to help make your eye look like it's the same colour. The Beauty Blender literally does the work for you. You can go in with a small tapered brush, focusing it mainly underneath the eye and pushing that into the skin. The Beauty Blender sometimes doesn't work as perfectly as it should do, and you need that extra push, the more you push the product into the skin, the less chances are that you're going to have really bad creasing. This is where the magic happens. I'm going to show you a drugstore and a high-end loose powder. This is the Makeup Academy Matte Perfect Loose Powder, which I use on like day-to-day basis. It's cheaper. Translucent powder doesn't give you a color. You can use some powders that have maybe a hint of banana-y, yellowy, kind of salmon undertones. I also have the NYX color correcting powder. Now I wanted to show you guys this because this actually is the most amazing formula, like creation ever. When you've color corrected, which is for a different video, check it out in the, you know, the link below and all that. This contains a yellowy undertone within the powder. What it does is it also helps to color correct at the same time as setting your concealer. So this is in the color Banana. There are other colors. This works for me because I have brown skin. Yellow, orangey undertones is what works best for my dark circles. Sometimes you put on your concealer, you think you've done it, you think you're done, but you're not. You still have product that requires a little bit more attention. Just make sure all that concealer is gone. There's no more collection in your creases. Otherwise, when you apply the powder, you're gonna have automatic creasing. So using the tip of a beauty blender or a flat brush, whatever works best for you, dip a really small amount of the powder on top of the beauty blender. You're going to now set your concealer. This is where the magic happens, the creasing begins to go away and everything comes together. I'm going to lightly press that underneath my eyes, bring it up again into the corner of my eye, down into a triangle shaped motion, paying very specific attention to the area I apply the concealer. No sweeping, no massaging, dab, dab, dab. And you can bring it on top of your lid to prepare your eye for eyeshadow, eyeliner. Make sure you focus it mainly underneath the eye. I see so many people with those crease lines and oh my God, no, girl, no, just stop. When you have dabbed the life out of your eyes, you have managed to stop your under eyes from creasing. Your concealer will not crease because you have set it with an amazing powder. And guys, I really hope that's helped you understand how to stop your under eyes from creasing. So ensure you use a primer. When you apply your foundation, make sure that you apply all over your face, but make sure you avoid your eye area. The more product you put underneath your eyes, the more chances are you're going to be getting creasing no matter how much powder you put on it. Make sure that you use a liquid creamy concealer that dries matte. You don't want a concealer that dries liquidy or oily because you're going to get, again, more chances of creasing and it's just going to not work, people. When you apply the concealer, make sure you do it in a triangle shape motion. Don't just do it underneath the eye or in a half moon shape. That draws the eye in, makes it super dull and just podgy looking. We'll ensure you lift your eye, give it life and make it look amazing. Go in with a damp beauty blender. Make sure it's saturated, not just a little bit wet. It will really help to move the product and also blend it into the skin. Ensure all of your concealer is blended into your skin before you go ahead and apply the powder. Go in with a loose powder, either a translucent or a coloured one, but it won't come up coloured. Don't make sure that you know that. It will just help to increase the pigment, increase the colour correcting. Totally up to you. And with the powder, use your damp beauty blender. Dab, dab, dab in triangle motions and just ensure you get that in your skin. I really hope this video was helpful for you guys. See you again soon in one of my how-to series. Don't forget to check out my eyebrows or my eyeliner video. I'll put them in the link below. See you guys soon. Bye.